So we had Ken Klukowski from Breitbart and a couple of conservative legal think tanks on yesterday, and he said, boy, the president's lawyers there at the White House, they better look at every single word and line of this bill before he signs it, because if there's anything in there that says he can't build a wall, then that's the statute that's going to prevail here if it gets fought in court. So what do you think?
Well, I think I've been screeching that at the top of my lungs since this bill was first unveiled. You know, like every great and responsible piece of legislation, 6 minutes before everyone had to vote on it. We really, I mean, with the end of the country, the one thing we should do now, dedicate our lives to, what are you going to do? Start, debating a Supreme Court justice? Who cares? It's an all-Democratic country. They're going to pack the court anyway. Nothing you and I have ever cared about, or any of your listeners have ever cared about, is going to matter with this total 100% open border, something that Hillary Clinton wouldn't have even signed. So I think we have to dedicate ourselves to taking revenge on the people who wrecked our country, starting, of course, with the president, his family, Richard Shelby, the negotiators. Can you even name all 14 negotiators? Who were these morons? The Republican negotiators.
All right, let's take a step back here. So I take it from your response there that you believe there is language in this bill that he just signed into law that precludes him from building anything on the border.
Well, look, I'm sort of a Pollyanna, believe it or not, and, hope springs eternal. I just talked to someone who's been involved in this fight for a long time, who seemed to have just given, not even pushed this issue. I talked about it this week, and I asked him why. And he said, look, I thought it was over when Trump became president, so the rest is just fun.
Yeah.
Who cares? The country's finished. And I suppose, in my logical mind, says that's what has happened. It's time to start writing mysteries and cookbooks. And sorry, middle America, sorry, working class America, boy, have you just been screwed over. But yeah, okay, hope springs eternal, and maybe there are 5 justices on the Supreme Court who will see that the national emergency is that our president is an idiot and our country is about to be destroyed.
All right,
the people vote and they vote and they vote. I mean, this is so much worse than Brexit.
So
much worse than the people voting for Brexit and refusing. The powers that be refusing to implement it. For 2 years, Trump took on the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the establishment, the swamp. He won. We made him president for one reason, to deal with immigration as our country is overwhelmed, destroying the working class and the middle class, i.e. the deplorables. And to have him sign an open borders bill so egregious that Hillary Clinton, the Republicans at least would have fought Hillary Clinton on this. This is why, back when it was the original amnesty, John McCain, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton, I said I was for Hillary Clinton, and I was right, because at least Republicans would have fought Hillary Clinton on nonsense like this. No, here it's Republicans presenting it to Trump on a silver platter. Here, we're not only going to amnesty every illegal in the country, but we're going to guarantee any future illegals who come can't be deported as long as they drag a child with them. Human trafficked child being used by the pederasts. We don't care as long as there's a child in tow. There's one provision of the bill that the president just signed. And, of course, the other part, and I'm sorry to go back to your original question, look, as I think is also clear to people who have been following me assiduously, from November 8th, since before November 8th, I've been saying the president doesn't even need a national emergency. He's the president.
Right.
Someone needs to remind him he's commander-in-chief. His primary responsibility is to defend the borders of this nation, protect the people living here, not to be bombing civilians in Syria or building walls in Afghanistan. It's here. It's the American people he's supposed to be the commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy to defend.
He could have used...
never needed emergency orders.
Right.
But, okay, yes, he has emergency powers that are quite broad, and yet... he has just signed a bill that says, no, the president cannot build a wall on the border. no place on the border, not 1 inch of the border. But he can't build any of the prototypes. He can put up some simple bollard fencing on one small area near Santa Fe, provided he jumps through 16 hoops, including approval of local officials who are liberal Democrats, so that's not going to happen. So now he's going to go to court and say, it's an emergency. We have to violate the bill I just signed into law.
Right. That's the argument. And so now I haven't seen this. So the actual language of the bill that he just signed says that he can't build any fence on the border except for bollard fencing in Santa Fe?
Yes.
That's insane.
And after jumping through many hoops. So,
right.
Like I say, okay, hope springs eternal. Maybe there are 5 justices on the Supreme Court who love our country more than they love good press from the Washington Post, etc. And they'll just
well, this is a serious problem. I mean,
notice of the fact that we have an idiot as a president.
All right, so and let's get back to the other, because that's a major problem. Obviously, if he just signed this and it specifically precludes him, that statute is going to win out. Secondly, though, with regard to the policy itself, this bill that he just signed into law specifically says that there's now basically a catch and release policy as long as you've got a kid.
Yes.
Yeah. So so your problem is who's advising him? You don't think he knows this? You don't think he's been told that? Or do you think he's just, he really just wants to build a wall regardless of what the policy is? I mean,
I think, this was occurring to me, obviously, in the last 24 hours, as the conservatives who agreed with the policies but absolutely detested Donald Trump I have a few friends like that, and none of them are pathetic and lame enough to go appear on CNN and MSNBC to denounce the president. But both here in LA and New York, I mean, people were saying he's going to be a Schwarzenegger. We just can't trust him. Yes, we'll vote for him, but I just don't trust him. Look at him. And I would say, as I did in Trump We Trust, okay, find a respectable politician taking this basket of issues. I'll be all for him. Get Romney to come out for building a wall, ending job-killing trade deals, ending pointless wars, ending the carried interest deduction, all of the crucial parts of his campaign. And so, yeah, they've been taunting me, and I think it is a quite devastating retort, which is in an area far more complex and difficult than building a wall and deporting illegals. The judiciary. Trump has been better than any other president in the history of this republic. Why is that? Because he farmed it out. Because he gave it to the Federalist Society. Do you think he even knew who Brett Kavanaugh was? Do you think he's read a single word written by Brett Kavanaugh? No, he has not. But he farmed it out to competent people. So why, with your central campaign promises, I mean, I wrote this column 3 weeks after November 11th when he did not make Chris Kobach Homeland Security Director.
I remember.
Danger. This is how you're going to destroy your presidency.
I remember. All right, listen, we only have a minute left. 2 minutes left. I'll give you 2 minutes. I'm about to have a representative from the White House on, and I'm going to challenge them with questions. What should I ask them on your behalf? I won't attribute it to you.
Representative?
It's Mercedes Schlapp.
Can you first, you got to look up, you can find them all over the web. You got to look up a quick IQ test. Point 1.
All right.
Point 2, ask her why she told the Angel Moms yesterday it was enraged that they wanted to meet the president.
Didn't the Angel Moms meet with the president today?
Only because by hook or crook, the president inadvertently with the entire Praetorian Guard of the White House, Kellyanne Conway, Mercedes Schlapp, Mick Mulvaney, no, stay away from the president. He might not sign the bill. Somebody apparently got through to the president and told him, hey, the Angel Bombs just met with Schumer. They met with Pelosi. They get turned away at the White House. They're told by Mercedes Schlapp and Mick Mulvaney, no room at the inn. The Angel Moms, the president, brought them on stage over and over again during this campaign. And do you remember what he always said to them? I do. It's branded on my soul. I will never forget you.
I will never forget you. I do remember that.
By which he meant, I will F you 6 ways from Sunday.
All right. We'll leave it there. Love having you on, Ann. You know that. And I know that this is a big day for you, and I know you're going to be a lot of places, so thanks for carving out time for us.
Not really. I have plans.
Because it's the end of the world. Have another margarita.
That's right. Enjoy the cheap labor.
Thanks, Ann. That's Ann Coulter, gang. AnnCoulter.com.